that wraps up our first week of the NRL Pre-Season trials. Honestly, it's so good to have the footy back. Like, once you turned on that game on the Thursday night, that Bulldogs Storm game, you're just sitting there like, fuck yeah, like, we're back here, which is great. We looked at that first game there. So the Bulldogs managed to get the win 24 to 12. So, yeah, bit of a upset there compared to what I'd kind of predicted. I guess that was a little bit different compared to the bookies, so I guess I kind of got it wrong. And people let me know that I got it wrong after that, which is pretty funny as well. So, yeah, definitely messed that one up. But it was really good to see Paps out there again. He's kept a lot of his pace, but it was really nice to see like his hands were looking really slick as well. So definitely a good thing to have him back. Managed to score a absolute beautiful try as well, right on the halftime buzzer there as well. Like, you just saw that pace just manage to split through as well. He wasn't kicking, but it'll be interesting to see if that will continue into the regular season or not, if he was just kind of flooding. I think it was Jonah Pezza that might have been kicking, but yeah, let him have a go, I guess. So he'll certainly be locked into my fantasy team as well. So didn't come back out at halftime, but I guess he'd kind of done enough, and obviously, he's somebody you probably don't want out there any longer than he needs to be. So Bulldogs had a lot of good young players coming through as well. So that try that Wilson scored in the second, no, sorry, not the second, but the one that he scored was hilarious. Like, there was nothing doing at all, and he just went, "Wow, see ya, bruh." Put on the fancy footwork and away that he went. So yeah, that was pretty good. Managed to score in the corner as well. So Hutchinson, he went well on the halves. Preston, solid. That was pretty much to be expected from him. Looking really dangerous in attack. I did have him and Paps down in a little two-legger there. Obviously, Paps getting over, but Preston, I think he pretty much went off not long after the second half started. So not much luck there. Was impressed with Bronson Xerri coming back in his first game. And let me just say, fuck tackling that dude. He runs that hard. Another really impressive performance as well from Sam Hughes. He nearly pulled off like Collins-esque catch there at one point. Dude was flying through the air. I thought he was going to come down and just about score the meat pie with it. Definitely see him potentially getting a starting spot. And if you don't have him in your fantasy side, definitely one that you want to pick up at this stage. Now, onto the All Stars game. That was such a fun watch. Obviously, as well, the trial games, they're not these full strength teams, but, with the All Stars, you're looking at, fucking good sides there, and it's a great watch. Always love watching the opening haka and the war dance as well, and all I can say is I would not want to play against the Maori All Stars as well. Seeing that and then standing like face to face with them, that's a big no for me. But the Maori boys put a lot of pressure on the Indigenous side early. They pretty much had all the footy, but just weren't able to put things together to score the points. It's like that we kind of spoke about in the preview last week. So they were kind of really missing the backs with the attacking power. Their halves seems to have also just had a bit of a issue kind of linking up. It seems to be some uncertainty about who was kind of leading the team around in that case. Xavier Willinson for me was definitely a standout with them, as well as Leo Thompson. Both of them, played extremely well. I would have liked to see Willinson get a little bit more time out there, but it is what it is, I guess, with that. Another one that I'd like to add to the list of people I'd never like to fucking tackle is Big Royce. When he came screaming off that back fence, you just see three blokes like bounce off him as well. I think one of them was Adam Elliott, and he's no pushover, that's for sure. And like we expected as well, so the backline for the Indigenous team would just be too much. The anti-vegan all-meat Fox as well, he was impressive. Hammer was awesome. He's an absolute freak. We saw the Foot Falcon multi come off as well, so we had the Fox, we had the Hammer and Calm Pereira all crossing, and the Indigenous All Stars. I think it was take like 4.5, so that was easy money there as well, so bang, that went off. Hines and Trindle looked amazing together as well, really slick. You can see the difference between the two teams, just with the halves that have been obviously in pre-season together, training together, it just makes such a difference in that case. Another one that was a real silent achiever that I think did so well was Jermaine Hopgood. He's in for another massive season, and yeah, just did a lot of that kind of like really hard, nitty-gritty sort of work and just got things done. So on to the Saturday games now. Knights versus Sharks went pretty much about how I expected it to be. So Knights getting it done convincingly, 44-18. So Knights, yeah, basically started out with a, starting side just about, maybe missing a couple players. But yeah, a much stronger side, definitely on paper. So one of the worst knockouts as well that I saw early in that game. I'm glad that fella, seemed all right. But yeah, hopefully he recovers with no dramas or anything. But that was a bit scary there. Like, they brought the stretcher and everything out. He managed to walk off, but he was proper out cold there. there for a bit. So, yeah, hopefully all well's there. So, Sharks had me a little bit worried with my tip towards the start as well. Managed to get ahead and get some points on the board, but the floodgates, once they kind of open up, they just didn't stop. I thought Cogger really turned the tides as well. Things really opened up after that. Lucas was really impressive. Bit of a bummer that Ero didn't really get too much of an opportunity either. I still think he'd be a better pick than Talakai. Talakai came on, eventually played in the centres. Not much going on there, but all those tries still managed to miss out on the multi, but, you get that sometimes. Now, honestly, I think you can put a line through the fucking Roosters already. They only beat the Manly team. I guess it's not so bad. So 36-22, they named basically a starting side. Like, that could be their run-on side week one, but they still managed to just scrape it out against like a C-grade Manly team. Scary to see Dom Young go into that back line as well. He had a freaky season last year, and if he's in the starting team, he's probably going to go on and score a shit ton of tries again. Highlight for me was one of the shots that Vega put on Smith. He fucking tickled the shit out of his ribs there at one point. Got absolutely folded. So it looks like as well that Young might miss some early rounds with that crusher tackle that he went off to hospital for, which is pretty rough one. It would have been really cool to see him over in Vegas and stuff like that in full flight. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see. It really depends, I guess, on surgery and how things pull up, but hopefully he recovers really quickly. Teddy also looked actually quite good at the back there, but it's kind of hard to fully judge when you're playing against such a young Manly team. Yeah, we'll see. But he's one that I'm kind of, could be a go with the old fantasy team. So we'll see how it goes. Now on to the next one. So the big milk got it done against the Eels with a big juicy 38-16 win. Pretty scrappy contest there, but the Raiders managed to bring their young guns out and really put them on show, which was really cool. I feel like they are going to really have a decent season. A lot of people are really putting a line through them, but I think they're going to go well. There's some fucking sick tries as well on that game. There was that kick that Kotrick put through to Weeks, the volley from Levi to Jed Stewart to score, and the full-length try by James Schiller. That was a fucking unreal effort as well. That dude has some serious getaway sticks. Schiller really impressed me, and so did the mullet on Noah Martin. That thing is all-time, that's for sure. Good to see Hands get a run as well. He's looking good for fantasy. Got that 80 minutes out there to really test his stuff, so that was great. Dragons, you really let me down here. So they went down 28-6. Thought this one was theirs for the taking, but Rabbits managed to pump the fuck out of them. It was 6-6 at halftime before the Rabbitohs managed to start just stacking on the points. So great to see a lot of young talent coming through with the Rabbitohs, but not so great for the Dragons, who basically listed a starting squad once again because they have no other players available basically ever. So, yeah, not super great there for them. Another close game in Christchurch, which saw the West Tigers get off to a start in the preseason with an 18-16 win. They should really probably hold on to that because I think wins for them this season is going to be few and far between. The Warriors, though, they were pretty much down, I think, from about the 20th minute down to 12 players after a player getting sent off. So not a bad job there, not getting absolutely pumped with a player off. So good to see Rodger Tuivasa-Sheck back out there as well. Looked pretty good in attack, and God, did he make some good tackles. Like, an old mate got that intercept cruising through and he just got folded by RTS. It was fucking hilarious. But no, it's good to see him back out there. Keen to see him playing with a full Wars team as well when they're at full strength and have him in there. SJ linking up, everything like that. It's going to be insane. As to be expected, my Bronx went on to pump the fuck out of the Cowboys and Mackay 46-20. Had me a little bit sketchy at the start there, but once they got going, there was no turning back from there. Tipped Piakura the whole time to get over all day and, managed to snag two of them. So he's going to be such a weapon in attack this year. Apparently he did slightly hurt his knee, but is hopefully going to be okay for round one. God, I hope he's going to be good for round one because, he's going to be unreal. I guess we'll have to see what the outcome is for that. Reece Walsh, as to be expected, was on fire. A couple of mistakes here and there, throwing some intercepts and just some other things. I think he kicked out on the full. But, got a lot more kicking in, which was good. So, but still, just fucking insane. You cannot just deny the sex appeal and attack with him. Just ripped teams, and as he did last season, just ripped teams apart, with his pace and ability from there. I cannot imagine him, Ezra Mam, and Tristan Saylor all linking up if they all get to play together. Tristan Saylor, once again, was a bloody standout. It was unreal. So Wanted to see a bit more of Dean Mariner as well, and my multi definitely needed him, but he started off pretty slow. Eventually, I think he ended up slotting into the centres where he really came good towards the end of the game, making some really solid runs, coming out of yards. It was great, so it was good to see. It was a good hit out for the Broncos, obviously playing with a much stronger team, but get ready for them to pump the absolute fuck out of the Roosters in Vegas as well. Now, for the last game of the round, I really should have put a bet on the first try scorer. My brother was telling me, he's like, oh, Kafusi's going to cross first, all this. I'm like, nah, Herbie's going over. And bang, there it is, Herbie went over. So pretty much another expected one as well, with the Dolphins getting up 26-14, playing a really young Titans team. So while they didn't get the win, I think for the Titans, they're going to have a really massive season, and this is really positive for them as well. Dolphins, yeah, I don't think they would have had as many errors if Big Wayno was there just to abuse him at halftime for being shit, but they still managed to pull it together. So that's pretty much everything that we've got for the first round of the preseason. We'll have predictions later out. We'll have predictions for the rest of the games out later this week. So until then, have a good one.